Hi all, just a bit of a catch-up video today. I just want to quickly apologise for my voice. It was my sister's hen do at the weekend, and let's just say I did a lot of singing and shouting and cheering and definitely a little bit concerned. I'm back at my show performing tomorrow night and I need to be able to sing. So let's see how that goes. I should probably be resting my voice right now, but instead here I am filming this, so very smart. First and foremost, I'm going to talk about why I am not going to be dieting anymore. Okay, so never say never, but right now I am taking a few weeks, maybe even a few months off of macro tracking. It's basically calorie counting, tracking my protein, my carbs and my fats religiously every day in an app. Or I use MyFitnessPal personally. There are other apps available, but that's what I mean by macro tracking. So don't get me wrong. This absolutely does not mean I am suddenly going to eat anything and everything and not care about my health. That is not what I mean. But after dieting on and off for over 8 years, I've definitely developed an interesting relationship with food, tracking, weighing myself, and just generally becoming obsessed with everything that I eat, to the point that my cheat meal has to be so perfect that I rarely try anything new. I get the hump if I cannot get my exact order the way I want it. I end up in a vicious cycle of starvation and binge mode, and although it has most certainly improved over the years, I am still not where I need to be. And food and eating consumes most of my thoughts day in and day out. And let's be honest, that is not normal. There is a big difference between being health conscious and becoming obsessed. And although we really never truly find a balance, because that's just not how life works, because in order to succeed, we often need to tip the scales further on one way than the other, I would still ultimately like to fix my issues with food and weight long term. I do fear, however, that all the while I compete in bodybuilding, fitness competitions, I will never be able to have a more normal, define normal, but a more normal approach to dieting. And that, I mean, not going on a diet, but eating day to day, the true meaning of the word diet. I worry more about my macros, calories, and constantly being in a deficit than actually listening to genuine hunger cues. Now, don't get me wrong, macro tracking, calorie counting is an amazing tool and truly, in my opinion, is the best and most accurate way to monitor progress and to reach your target weight loss, maintenance, your weight gain goals, whatever it is. By tracking, I think it is a fantastic tool. I have so many clients that have achieved insane transformations, but most importantly, developed better habits for life by using a flexible dieting approach, i.e. macro tracking. When I started out with bodybuilding, I did the more approach and ate literally just chicken and broccoli and rice, a few other bits, but not much, and a protein shake after every single workout without fail, which is ridiculous and totally unnecessary, and most definitely caused me to have a serious eating disorder right off the bat, and I actually developed bulimia. Off season, I became heavier than I had ever been prior to competing. Now, as a newbie, it did me a favor and allowed me to grow muscle very quickly and drug-free. So pros and cons, but I wasn't in a good place physically and mentally off season. You know, I always felt fat or big, and I looked bigger and I was bigger. Obviously I did gain muscle, which was great because you do need to be in a surplus to gain muscle, but I probably didn't need to go quite that far. And ultimately, what's more important, how quickly you gain muscle or where you are physically and mentally? So what is more important to us? 1 year may be different the next, and naturally the more we grow and develop and of course age, the more we start to view things a little differently. I didn't care that I had to do hours of cardio, diet really hard, resulting to things like keto, no carbs. Don't do that. To get in shape for a comp, it was a do whatever it takes approach, within reason obviously, mindset that I always had, which is fine. I achieved a lot. I turned pro. I came second in my rookie pro comp, then won the Arnold Australia and qualified for the Olympia. But funnily enough, those preps was actually where I'd started to move over to a more flexible dieting approach. So those preps themselves were actually much more enjoyable than, say, the first few, well, 11 amateur bikini preps and 4 amateur fitness preps. Competing year after year takes its toll, especially as a natural athlete. It's hard to recover, hard to continue to grow muscle, and pretty much impossible to stay close to being stage lean, as it is just not healthy and not sustainable. And to make it even more difficult, I do a division that requires a fitness routine alongside the physique round, which means even more training, skills practice, gymnastics, HIIT, etc, etc, etc. And then we won't even get to the people that do PEDs, the toll that that takes on their body. PEDs, I mean performance enhancing drugs. That's a whole other avenue that I know very little about, so I can't really speak on it. But the toll that that takes long term, especially for females and the reproductive system and all sorts, hormones, your thyroid, crazy, crazy, crazy. Is it worth it? I don't think so. So with my life taking a bit of an unexpected turn in 2020/2021, I felt like continuing on with competing would give me structure and a purpose. And for many it does do this, and we all know how important it is to have goals in life. But I had started to feel a little bit like I'd fallen out of love with the sport. And if I'm being totally honest, the more I thought about it and the more I dieted, the more I thought, what the hell am I doing and what for? Getting shredded is cool, but it is also extremely depressing. It's hard. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do things that are hard. Quite the opposite, you should. But you do need to enjoy it for the most part. Not only is it very unhealthy, it is massively antisocial, it's very selfish, and it's just very taxing on your body and your mind. I like my body to look curvaceous and feminine while still being muscular and strong, and I want to do other things. I want to run races, I want to climb walls, I want to see how much I can lift, have energy for trips and days out, and sometimes I just want to order a pizza when I fancy a pizza. Meeting my partner in summer last year also made me realise how much having true love can change how you view some things. My goals have changed. I want to have an exciting, fun, happy life with him. I don't want to be on a diet all the damn time, crying that I'm hungry and moaning that I'm tired. No, I want to go on adventures and create new and exciting goals, many of which we can do together. I want to perform in a burlesque show in Vegas. I want to create new acts for my shows here in the UK. I want to travel more, improve my health and my fitness so I can be a healthier, happier me, regardless of the number on the scale or body fat percentage. So many of you know I decided to dip my toe into powerlifting, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I did so well in my first meet that I qualified for the British Championships, which are now just 2.5 weeks away. The first comp, I didn't worry about hitting a weight class and just entered the up to 67.5 kilo class, even though I was well under that. For this comp, I was going to aim to do the up to 60 kilo class, which is the next one down. But after weeks of dreading the thought of having to diet again, I've decided no. I'm just going to enter as I am, because one of the main reasons I tried powerlifting was so I didn't have to bloody diet. And here I was having to start dieting again, which just genuinely started to suck all of the fun out of this prep. So I have been comfortably sitting at 140 pounds. Ouch, TV there, which is 63.5 kilos for the last few weeks, maybe even the last few months. And I've loosely been tracking my food, having 1 to 2 cheat meals a week. It's still been a bit of a restrict, then eat a big cheat meal kind of pattern, which isn't what I want, as it ends up with me feeling guilty and embarrassed and bad about myself. So hence why I've now decided to just not diet, not track, not weigh myself so frequently. Like, I am weighing myself like several times a day. It's just absurd. And I just want to eat when I'm hungry and be sensible and be smart, but be relaxed, go off of how I feel and how I look. And I have no doubt that I'll maintain this weight. Who knows? I'll probably even drop a few pounds because I am quite comfortable with how I look right now. So there we have it. The goal is to get this powerlifting comp done and just hit the best numbers I can, regardless of the actual result, because at the end of the day, I can only lift what I can lift. And something that I like about this sport, it isn't an opinion of a group of people. It is literally what you can do, and that is that. And then with regards to bodybuilding, I really don't know right now. Like, my intention had been to do the natural competition at the end of September and then hopefully qualify for the Olympia one last time and then call it a day. But the longer I wait to stop dieting, the longer this pattern and in reality eating disorder will continue, and I'm just prolonging the inevitable. The cycle of restricting and binging and the unhealthy obsessions and thoughts of food and eating and my body will just continue. So I want to look fit and I want to be fit, and I don't want to be in a constant battle with myself. And for me to do that, I need to stop dieting, rebuild my calories back up, eat when I'm hungry, fuel my body adequately for whatever it is I am doing, and not think of a certain food as a reward for being good. I'm not a dog, but if I train less, I will eat a bit less. And if I run a 10K race, I will eat a bit more. I basically need to practice what I preach, and remember, food will always be there. Even competing will always be there. There are plenty of other sports and hobbies and fun things out there that I can do that don't require me to starve myself day in and day out. So with that being said, bring on the British Championships in 2.5 weeks. Let's do this.